present perfect uses 2, 3, and 4. As you're about to see, I'm going to use similar examples for each of the for each use to illustrate the differences in meaning. Okay, so let's get right to it. Use 2 is basically whenever we use just, already, and yet. For just, in a statement, it goes between have or has and the participle. I have just hiked up the mountain. We have just made a snowman. They have just flown to the moon. In a question, it goes between the subject and participle. Have I just hiked up the mountain? Have I just made a snowman? Have they just flown to the moon? So why use it? Why use just? To show that something happened super recently, not long ago at all, mere moments ago, and we often add more emphasis to the word just because we want to make that the focus of the sentence. When did I do these things? I just did them. For already, right here, the grammar is exactly the same. But why do we use already? To show something happened before, happened previously, or to ask if something happened previously. I already hiked up the mountain. I already I already hiked up the mountain. We already made a snowman. We already made a snowman. They have already flown to the moon. Have they already flown to the moon? And finally, yet. Yet always goes at the end of a sentence, and it's only used in negative sentences and in questions. In negative sentences, it's the negative form of already. So the things did not happen previously. I didn't hike up the mountain yet. We didn't make the snowman yet. They didn't fly to the moon yet. In questions, we are asking if something happened previously. Did I hike up the mountain yet? Did we make a snowman yet? Did they fly to the moon yet? No. And finally, if you're in the US, we use the past simple more often for use to. But on a test, you should always use the present perfect when you see just, already, and yet. Okay. Use 3 is for asking about moments in a person's life if they did something, especially big, important events. To do this, we ask, have you ever? And then the participle for the action, the big thing they might have done. We can also ask about other people. Has she or has he ever? Have you ever hiked up to the top of a mountain? Your daughter, has she ever made a snowman? Have you ever flown to the moon? Typically, it's for big moments, but it might be for any curiosity you want to talk about. For use 3, most Americans prefer to use the present perfect here. It just makes the question sound bigger, more important, and makes the speaker seem more curious. Whew. All right. Use 4. Use 4 happened before and continues to the present moment. The big thing to realize here is that we almost always use for and since for this meaning. For and since both show us the duration of a time, but in different ways. We put a period of time after for, and we put a date or definite time after since. I have hiked up this mountain since I was a child, or I have hiked up this mountain for decades. Here, this is an action that I do again and again. I started doing it in the past and continue doing it. I have made snowmen with my daughter since we moved here, or have made snowmen with my daughter for many years now. Again, it's an action we repeat. We have done it every winter until present. Maybe it will change in the future. Who knows? And I have been on the moon since 2010, or I've been on the moon for 9 years. Here, this action has been constant. I have not returned to Earth in 9 years because I've been on the moon. And at this time, I continue to be on the moon. And for use 4, we always use the present perfect. As a rule, use it when you see for and since related to time. So those are uses 2, 3, and 4. If you got some of your own examples, send them my way. And I guess that's it.